All right, so now let's work on the functionality to reset our password. So I'll click on forgot password, and this is where we're going to be working from. So first off, I'll create the service to handle that function. So I'll come to my auth service, and I'll just, as we normally do, I will duplicate this guy. So let's just come here like this, and I'll just duplicate him. Wow, yeah. So let's add a comment and say forgot password. Okay. And then of course I'll change this function name also to forgot password. Okay, great. So now when we want to forget a password, in other words, when we want to request for a reset email, first off is axios.post. It's a post response. Sorry, it's a post HTTP method, and I would need to, assign it to a response variable, which is, so response is equal to axios.post, and then what's the URLs? API users and then forgot password. So we're going to change this to forgot password. That's the backend URL. All right, so when we do that, we have a response that we can get from the back end, and that's just the response, the message that it was successful. So here I will just what's it called, I'll just do a toast. So toast, and then it's going to be a success, and here I'll just point to the response dot data, and then inside that data we now have a message. And let me just do a refresher to show you what we're talking about here. So the function to reset our password is in the user controller. So let me do Control P and then user controller. Aha. Then I'm also going to search for, sorry, forgot password. Forgot password. Aha. So you see, let me scroll down to where we get a success message, or where we get a response. So this is after we send it. Aha. So you see, we did response.status, and then we sent a JSON file with this property of success true and a message of reset email sent. So it's this message that we are pointing to when we say response.data.message. Okay. All right, so that's about it for what goes on in this function here, and I will just go ahead and save. Aha. Now we need to go to the forgot. Let me close all these ones we're not using. I'll just leave only the login, and even the loader, I don't need it anymore. The auth slides can go. Yeah, this one too can go. The header can also go. Yeah, so I'll just open the Control P, and then I'll open the forgot page. Yeah, so forgot.js. So here we're just going to have that function. So technically I would need to first, grab the email from this field. So because we've already done that in the login, I'll just, okay, maybe I need to just type out some things by myself here. So here I'll just say use state. I'll use the use state snippet, and here I'll just say email because I want to get out the email from the form field. So here we'll say email, and that's going to be set to initially an empty string. I'll import use state as well from React, and then let's just space this out a little bit. All right, so next let's grab the email from the input field. So input name email, and then I'll just set the value to email. Then I'll set the onChange, that's going to point to, and here I'll just use the arrow function, inline arrow function. Here I'll say set email to, this is going to be event dot target dot value. Okay, and let's just slot an e here so that we get rid of that red line. Aha. So now when the form is submitted, what do we want? We want to call a function that we're just going to call submit. On submit, we'll call that function forgot, and then we need to create it at the top here. So I'll just come down here and then create an asynchronous arrow function that I will name forgot. So e dot prevent default. Aha, so now what do we want to do when the form is submitted? So that's the elephant in the room. So first off, we need to add some validation to make sure that this email was entered. Okay, so but because we've added some validation before, we'll save some time and just work with what we have before. So first off, make sure that the user entered an email, make sure the email is validated. So let me grab this line of code, and then in my forgot password, I'll just paste that in. So we don't have a password here, definitely, so I'm just going to get rid of this. So if there is no email, tell the user, please add your email, or please enter an email. Then to validate this guy, I need to also import this function from where it's located, and then for the toast, I'm going to import it as well. And I honestly don't know why I've not been able to import this toast guy, but no wahala, I'll just copy it from previous place where I used it to React Toastify. I'll copy that and I'll come back here and slot that in somewhere at the top, paste that in and give some space. Okay, then now we need to put this email inside a user data object. So we have a user data object here. So let's grab the user data object, which is here. I'll copy that and then I will come to forgot. Aha, so let's give some space and then let's just slot in the user data. Now we're not dealing with a password, we're dealing with just an email. So we'll just have only the email there. Now that we have that, I'll just come down here. I'm not going to do a try catch block. I'll just say await, and what's the name of the function? Forgot password, and it's in the auth services. So auto import that as well, and then just pass it the user data. Okay, then if it's successful, or when it's successful, you want to clear the email. So set email to an empty string. All right, so now I think there's something we missed out. So we are sending the user data here. What that means is that in our auth services, we are also supposed to catch the user data here. So here I'll just say user data, and then I would copy that and in the URL. So in this await access.post blah blah blah. After this URL, I'll just add a comma and point the user and reference the user data as well that I'm sending to the back end. So I think that's about it for this one. Just let me just take a second look. But instead of saying user data, I can just, well, user data is fine. It's email is the user data as well. So I'll go ahead and save this guy, and I'll save the forgot.js as well, and then it's time to test. So fingers crossed, let's see if we get an email. I'll come here and I will add an email. So I'll add a relevant email, which is the one I used to test, and then I'll click on get reset email. Click that. Aha, so you see it clears the form and we get this reset email sent. So you, at this point, you want to check your email and maybe reset your password. So but let's see if the email was actually sent. There was this error we had that time with our IP address. So the way we can check that is I can just check the console of the so we have something here, and it says authentication unsuccessful. Okay, I changed my password. Oh, okay, but I'm sure you get the gist. So I changed my password when I wanted to expose the .env file earlier, so I forgot to change it back. So maybe I'll just do that and try this again so that I will actually show you that it works. So let me just pause the video and change my password. So I've changed my password now to the correct password in my .env file, and then let's just try it again. So here, and then get reset email. So fire that and let's see. Aha, so you see now we get reset email sent, and this time it should actually send. So let's just give it a couple of seconds because it actually takes a while to send. So let's see if everything is fine here. Aha, so you see we get the message was sent and all of that here. So now if you go to our email, so let me just open my email very quickly. So this is my email I just opened, and you see here we have this email from Node Course. If I click on that, you see that it was just sent right now, and let's just open that. So you see we have the email here, localhost 3000 blah blah blah. So that brings us to the close for the forgot password functionality. So now in the next one, we're now going to handle the reset password functionality, which is what we're going to, the page we're going to go to when we click on this link here. So right, see you in the next one then.